Goedemiddag. Welkom aan almal by die eerste Rooiplein debat van 2012 gereël deur die Sentrums vir Studentgemeenskappe en Studentesake. Die titel van vandag se gesprek is Universiteit Stellenbosch, Koshuisgemeenskappe en Godsdienstbeoefening, hoe vorentoe in 'n wetenskaplike, demokratiese en grondwetlike gemeenskap. For those of you who will be tweeting during or after this discussion, we ask that you please use the hashtag #RooipleinDebate, as above there. Now, three of the questions that need to be asked today are, first, where is the line between personal convictions and university policy? Tweedens, wat kan verwag word van ons studenteleiers? And finally, how does the university organize its affairs to allow for religious and other freedoms that do not clash with the institution's stated goal of establishing and nurturing a healthy student community? Given a few incidences in the recent past, the last of which was at Dagbreek 3 weeks ago, it is necessary for us as a university community to engage in a critical, constructive discussion on these sensitive issues and reflect on these conversations. As ons studenteleiers en personeel by die universiteit, moet ons verantwoordelikheid aanvaar om die voorbeeld te stel van hoe so gesprek gevoer moet word in 'n moderne grondwetlike gemeenskap. We do not all need to agree, but we need to respect and support each other's right to disagree, and that can only be achieved by respectful conversation like the one we're hoping for today. Die formaat vir vandag is soos volg. Ons gee eers geleentheid vir die twee sprekers om hulle opinie oor die saak te stel, waarna ons sal oorgee aan die vloer vir 6 punte van kommentaar. A brief chance for the speakers to respond will follow, followed by 6 more comments and then closing remarks. Given that this is a discussion and not a zero-sum debate, the points from the floor do not have to be questions to the speakers, but preferably a statement of your opinion on the issue at hand. Die tydsbeperking van die kommentaar van die vloer gaan streng beperk word tot 1,5 minute. Sodra jou tyd verstrek is, sal jou mikrofoon afgesny word. So please prepare for your comments with this condition in mind. The two speakers that we have invited today to lead this discussion have been invited because we consider them thought leaders on campus whose personal opinions and insight we value highly. Dit gesê, dit is my voorreg om die eerste spreker, Professor Nico Koopman, voor te stel. Professor Nico Koopman is die dekaan van die fakulteit Teologie en die direkteur van die Beyers Nordee Sentrum vir Publieke Teologie. Baie dankie.
Dankie meneer. Goeiemiddag julle. Sê baie dankie vir Matthew en sy kollegas wat ons genooi het. Dis vir ons lekker om te kom praat. Julle weet ek was jarelank inwonende hoof en daar in die koshuise het jy geleer, jy moet gou praat. Die manne wil eet, die dames wil eet. So, hulle sê altyd vir my, maak net 3 punte. En ek gaan probeer om 3 punte te maak. The first remark is, religious faith is growing all over the world. Even in countries that are highly secularized, religious faith is starting to grow. On the continent of Africa, religious faith is growing. In fact, Christianity enjoys its most rapid growth on the continent of Africa. And in South Africa, we can say that most South Africans by far are religious people. Die Suid-Afrikaanse grondwet maak spesifiek ook voorsiening vir godsdienst in die publieke ruimte. Godsdienst word verwelkom in die publieke domein volgens ons land se 1996 grondwet. So as ons sê ons is 'n sekulêre staat, is ons 'n sekulêre staat van spesifieke aard. Ons sê naamlik sekulêr in die sin van lewensbeskoulik neutraal. In elke lewenssfeer is daar ruimte vir godsdienst. So ons gaan nie sekulêr in die sin beoefen dat ons die religieuse tot die privaat domein van die lewe verdring nie. But my next remark. Religion has an ambivalent history. We know that religion can function in a healthy way and be constructive, but religion can also become sick and be very destructive. And this is the last remark that I really want to make. What are criteria for healthy religion in public spaces, in broader society, on a campus like ours, and also in our university residences? Ek gaan net 3 dinge noem wat ek dink maatstawe is vir gesonde godsdienst, vir godsdienstige praktyke wat goeie nuus is vir die samelewing. Die eerste een is, ek dink godsdienst is gesond, of godsdienstige praktyke is gesond, wat menswaardigheid bevorder. en dit nie skend nie. Menswaardigheid het twee gesigte. Die een gesig van menswaardigheid is geregtigheid. Gesonde godsdiens gaan nie onreg pleeg nie, nie diskrimineer nie, nie 'n mens disrespekteer nie, maar gaan reg doen aan die ander, billik handel teenoor die ander. The second phase of human dignity is freedom. Healthy religion, healthy religious practices will not enslave you, will not impose its opinions upon you, will negotiate with you, invite you, discuss with you, talk to you, but it will not make you a slave and oppress and abuse you. En as ek sê menswaardigheid, dan bedoel ek ook, ons kan nooit oor menswaardigheid praat sonder om te praat oor die waarde van die natuur, van elke dier, van die plant en van die ganse omgewing nie. That's the first feature of healthy religious practices, human dignity. The second feature is rationality. Healthy religion is not in opposition to rationality. Healthy religion loves science. It is not in a duel with science, but it sings a duet with science. Healthy religion is rational in this sense that it opposes all anti-intellectualism. It will open itself up to intellectual self-criticism and scrutiny, but it will open itself also up to scrutiny by others who do not belong to that specific religious tradition. En dan laastens, healthy religion celebrates plurality. As we are gathered here, we adhere to a plurality of religious positions, of life views. Some are secular, agnostic, atheist, others are Christian, others Muslim, others Jewish, Hindu, African traditional. We belong to a plurality of religious traditions, but we also adhere to a plurality of moral positions. If we start debating various issues now, we will have a plurality of views. Gesonde godsdiens gaan sê, hey, ek verdra jou standpunt, maar nie die negatiewe verdra nie. In die ou jare was daar 'n song wat die Hollies gesing het, He ain't heavy, he's my brother. Daarmee wil hy sê, jong, jou standpunt is eintlik vir my heng swaar, but I'll carry you, you ain't heavy. We need tolerance. Tolerance means to carry you even though I disagree from you. And healthy religion that celebrates plurality will also say, I embrace you, even though we disagree. I will fight for your right to voice your specific opinion. And if we celebrate plurality, by that, I do not say we preach relativism, everything goes. If you stand for nothing, you'll fall for everything. Neither do I preach absolutism. And this is the big danger, and with this I conclude. Sikh religion or Sikh religious practices become absolutistic. Only my view is right. If you disagree, I stereotype you, I demonize you, make you a demon. And the moment when I start stigmatizing you and demonizing you, I will annihilate you. And we don't want that type of religious practice on our continent, in the world, and might I even say, on our campus. We want religious practices that respect dignity, practices that loves intellectual scrutiny, and practices that say, let's carry each other, let's embrace each other amidst all our differences. I thank you.